For several Plains tribes, Devil's Tower National Park is a place of deep spiritual meaning. They offer prayers and hold ceremonies. Currently, the June voluntary closure has only deterred 80% of the climbers. The tribes say the remaining 20% ruin the integrity of their events. The Navajo believe that San Francisco Peaks are one of the four sacred mountains given by the Creator. Today, contractors are building a wastewater pipeline on the peaks to create artificial snow for the Snow Bowl. San Diego itself is a hub for this type of destruction. Tom Cove Burial Ground is its latest victim. This leaves us with the knowledge that sacred sites are no longer sanctified. Okay, so what's the issue? Well, the story begins with Palomar College's need to expand. As the college is now, it can hardly provide for its current student body of over 30,000. In the next 10 years, that number is expected to jump to almost 50,000. Well, when building, the options are relatively straightforward. One, you could build a satellite campus. Two, you can expand the main campus. Or three, you can do some combination of the both. Eventually, the district settled on a plan that it is now calling the North Education Center, and they're building it just a little south of Fallbrook. In order to build, developers are required to submit an environmental impact report for all development projects as mandated by the California Environmental Quality Act, otherwise known as CEQA. Well, these reports must include a section on impacts incurred on significant cultural resources, and this includes American Indian sites. San Diego County is home to more Indian reservations than any other county in the United States. So it should come as little surprise that according to these environmental reports filed with San Diego County, the studies found a significant amount of Indian cultural artifacts and resources on the property. We come to find out that the site for Palomar's new construction was Tom Cove, translated as the gathering place, a special place to the Luiseno people. It is a stoppage village along the primary route between the desert, the mountains, and the Pacific Ocean. Think of it as a loose equivalent to Barstool for the people who travel from Southern California to Las Vegas. Except American Indian travelers usually set up a camp near or around Tom Cove, and perhaps they would stay a while. I don't see anybody staying in Barstool for a while. Tom Cove was a major hub of activity and a central location to the Luiseno people. Lawyers representing the San Luis Rey Band of Mission Indians are suing San Diego County, the Palomar Community College District, and Parity Development Corporation in an attempt to protect the land that they say is a crucial part of the cultural heritage. One of these lawyers we were lucky enough to interview.
And I was told up front, don't go ask for work anywhere. Don't go ask to be able to work with them. If they trust you, it'll come. And that was in 1999, 2000, and finally one of the tribes called and asked me on an endangered species to work with them on an endangered species issue, and that was the Paula Band Mission Indians, and I did some work for them, and lo and behold, I got along really well with their chairman and their executive committee. They're still one of my clients, and they talked, and that's how I got into Native American law.
On April 25th, I attended the Tom Cove teach-in at Palomar College. Through the panel that they had a number of different individuals ranging from the department chair of American Indian Studies to members of that department, and also to an archaeologist that currently teaches at Palomar College, and also a credentialed California attorney. The archaeologists are the ones that are responsible for discovering and preserving the sacred burial grounds because of their direct relationship with it.
Why we're here now and why we're trying to protect it is because Palomar College, Party Homes, Campus Park, and the County of San Diego want to put a road through a burial area.
It's a very beautiful place. And if you could see that what they've done to this sacred place of this tribe, and they have pulled remains out of here. There are remains down here in this container.
Okay. When you look at where Horse Ranch Creek Road is, you got 76 here and 15 coming up here. You got what they call Pankey Road here. Tomcoff was believed to be in this general area. The east-west corridor for all of the tribes coming from all the way from Yuma up the backside of the Palomar Mountains and then through the Sueño, and this is San Luis Rey River right along here, was right through this area. Primary north-south corridor from San Diego all the way up through Temecula was right along 15. So that's the reason why this area was known to be so sensitive. And it's known generally as SCI 682, which is known as an archaeological site, which identified the overall importance of this area. But that's not the way archaeologists identify cultural sites. What they identify cultural sites are places where, in the past, a report has specifically found certain artifacts, like arrowheads or pottery or something like that. And as a result, 682, when it's on all the records, has only been studied in 3 primary areas. Here, here, and here.
Half of the road has to be built by Palomar College, and the other half has to be built by the development company who's building the houses. What they're trying to do with the second case is that they're trying to see if that their environmental reports, if they're flawed, if they can find something in their permitting process that makes it so they can't build half of the roads, and they can't build the road at all, so they have to build at least half. They need to, if they can prove that half of the road can be built, then none of the road can be built. So I think that's the number one, that's what they're pushing for. And I think the rerouting is after, if, that doesn't happen. Because he also mentioned, how are they going to reroute it? Where are they going to get this money from? Like the money, like they don't want to make it so that the Native Americans pay for that. Because if the Native Americans pay for that, then they're saying, yeah, if you guys mess up, if you guys build in over another one of our burial grounds, then we'll pay for your mistake.
The oft-stated ills that plight Native Americans make us cringe. We hear stories of them being dispirited, the consequence of Europeans who traveled from far-off lands. Though the characters have changed and the settings are different, the plot's the same. The natives' way of life and beliefs, especially here in our own city, are overlooked to the 21st century oppressor. Greed, overpopulation, ignorance, and bigotry. To challenge these, one does not need to take a drastic path and become a Native American scholar, or join a Native nonprofit organization, although they help, but rather listen to the other side. The simple truth in all politics is that discussion, not deterrence, is best.